Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. I see there are 14 people already joined us. So, yes, maybe let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes and we'll start. Hello everyone, I think we can start. Thank you for joining. As we discussed last time, today I will show you how to. Firstly, I'll show for those who use Intellij, I will show how to open your project correctly with Maven on it. So let's start. First of all, comparing to Eclipse, you need to unzip your the project, right, from the zip file. One moment, I think. Yeah, and you need to unzip your project file. Then for this purpose, let's go to downloads folder. Yeah, for those. Here we have the project we installed. We download it, then just need to create a different folder for it. And here we can, in my case, I just use it to distinguish this project with different one. So here you just need to unzip your file from the archive, and then let's go to Intellij. So once you open Intellij, you'll see this screen, right? And then you need to press open or import. Once you pressed here, you will see the 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 folder where the project is placed, right? So here you can just select this folder and press OK. So yeah, the first step, the second step, press OK, and here you will see the pop-up window where you have two options: Eclipse project and Maven project. So we select Maven project, right? Then press OK. After that, the project will be loading, right? And in my case, I think everything is already done. In your case, you will probably see that the training material Java, the Maven will be loading. It will be installing the training materials. In our case, these are, and I think that after that it should be fine for you. I mean, there should be no errors, and everything should be fine here with Intellij. Then you can just do the same environment as I do in Eclipse. Right. So any questions about Intellij, and if so maybe you have already managed to do it, just write your comment here if it's fine for you. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. So first, okay, let's start from the from the beginning. Um, just yeah, first of all, okay, you can. In my case, I can just close the project and so once you open the Intellij, you will have this screen, right? Just basic screen. Then you need to import the project. So press here, open or import. In our case, we'll be importing it. And here just, yeah, as I said, you need to unzip the project we downloaded, right, from the zip file here. Here's the project. You need to just unzip, move it to your folder, right? And after that, you will be able to import this project in Intellij. So just find the place this folder is located, right? In my case, it's in Documents. Just use Intellij projects, and here is the project. So click on it, select. Once it is selected, press OK. And after that, yeah, in my case, it's already important, but in your case, you will have the window with two options. Option 1 is Eclipse project. Option 2 is Maven project. You need to select Maven, and after that, it should install automatically all the dependencies using Maven. Right? Is it clear now, or we need to discuss something more here? Okay, I think we can move on then. So for those of you who use Intellij, you're welcome to do it, and hope it will work fine now. Right. Okay. So let's continue with the topic we finished last time. So as I mentioned, today we'll start with the arrays. Yeah. One more question for those of you who, yeah, as I said last time, the home task for today is just to go through all the basic elements we discussed last time and try it yourself. Do you have any questions about the topics we discussed last time? Did you try to do some testing from your side, and are there any questions for you, or if there's something you're not sure about or you don't understand fully or maybe at all? Just write the questions if you have such. Okay, since we don't have, I think we can. Oh, okay, Ian is typing something. Okay. Okay, yeah. Thanks. Okay, so let's move on with the. Just let's start from the current slide. Yes, so arrays. Arrays is quite usual thing in all the programming languages, especially in Java in particular. So, okay, let's start. Yeah, sorry for this one. So yeah, as you know, probably all, you have already managed to work with arrays, and yes, as you know, it's a data structure which consists the elements with the same type, and yeah, arrays of them as the simple variables. Arrays have the name, right, and you can access the elements of the array with using indexes 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so on. Usually, in most usual cases, that array is one-dimensional, but in some cases, for example, if we're talking about mathematics, there will be two-dimensional arrays, and if you want to use arrays as the table, you can use two-dimensional array as well. Okay, Sandra. Yes, yes, we will. Yes, that's an answer to Sandra. Yes, we're going to we'll discuss static section. I think we'll try to cover it several times, so I hope it will be fine. At least static elements are you can find them, you can face them in object-oriented programming. So usually yes, we'll get back to them a lot of times again. So don't worry, we'll discuss the static section and everything what is related to object-oriented programming a bit later as well. Right. Okay. So let's continue with the arrays. In fact, you can create as much dimensions, declare the arrays with as much dimensions as you want. But yeah, most usual cases are one-dimensional or two-dimensional arrays. Maybe in some cases they are three-dimensional. But yeah, just you need to understand that in case you use even more and more dimensions, it will reduce the performance of your program, which is I think makes sense. Yeah, since you're using a lot of memory here. All right. Yes, array is declared using type of its elements, name and dimensions in form. And yeah, let me show you in Eclipse just using the code so it's clear for you. Yes, as you asked in last session, we need to zoom a bit, right? I think control scrolling because I never zoom it. Let's moment. Yeah, if you go to Window, Preferences, General, Appearance, Colors and Fonts, go to Java, Java Editor, Text Font. You press Edit, and if you want to change the size, you can just select it here. Right? Yeah. In case you want to do it in future. Again, let me repeat the steps. If you want to change the size of the font, so go to Window, first step, Preferences, second step, then go to General, then under Appearance section, you'll find Colors and Fonts, and here navigate to Java, Java Editor, press Edit, and here you can select the font and the size of the font. So I hope it will be much better. I think we can try to zoom this section as well a bit. I think it should be here. Basic. I think this one section. Increase this section as well. Text font. Let's increase it as well. So right, I hope it should be much better now. Yeah. So yeah, probably now it should be fine. So to declare the arrays, how we can do it? So for example, let's use a simple type, predefined type, and a primitive type of integer, Java, right? And then create int. Let's use square brackets. No, just create array with the square brackets. And yeah, the first option is that you declare it without the initialization, as in this case, we have not declared the size of the array, and as we can see, if you want to, for example, assign it to the first index, it is not possible since the array is not initialized. So to do it, we need to press new int and use the square brackets. Pardon. Yes, we need to pass the size of the array. So here in this case everything is correct, right? So, and we cannot do it this way as well. Just as I said, need to initialize. And of course we can reinitialize it as well. So okay, at first if we initialize it like this, it's fine. But then we can also, what we can do is reinitialize it with a different size. And like in this case, a new array is created, right, with different size. So this is the way we can declare the array. Right. Let's move on. I think it's pretty clear now. Then yes, we can, as I already showed to you, we can declare the array in one line with the declaration initialization. Same way you can do it in multiple lines. It depends on the style you are programming and the goals you want to reach with your program. Right, yeah, the type you can provide built-in or custom Java type. You can use every type you want. Is it integer or string as an object or any other types? You're welcome to use it. Use it once you are working with arrays. Right. Let's move on. Yeah, as I already said, this is the way you can create and populate your array. So in this case, it's creating a heap memory, right? Using the array, and you have the array of elements stored in the memory. In this case, you just populate the array with 26 characters here. So it's pretty clear. A1, A2, and so on and so on. Right, value assignment into array. So values in elements of array can be assigned in two ways. So maybe let's test both ways in Eclipse. I think this font should be good now, so I think there should be no complaint. I hope you can see it much better than previous time. And yes, let's just Just let's remove all the unneeded characters. So in this case, we declare names, we declare directory, we declare the variable, and we assign all the values of the array directly during the initialization. So in this case, we don't even need to initialize the array with like with this approach. We just can do it directly using this one, right? And yeah, the second approach is just as we already discussed before. You can okay, I think it's pretty clear for you. Don't really need to show it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Sandra, for your comment. So yeah, I hope it's pretty clear if you assign the values to the array this way. So it's pretty simple, I guess. Okay, for multidimensional arrays, it's a bit trickier since we have another dimension in the array. So okay, let's talk about it. So multidimensional arrays are arrays of arrays. Yeah, that's true. We have the first array, and then the first array has its own second. For every element of the first array has its own element in the second array. This is the way the multidimensional arrays are built. So in case you're, for example, talking about tables, right? You have just a simple table with rows and columns. So each column has its own row, its own list of rows. Like if you have column, you have rows down. So the same, each column has its own list of rows, and it's in other directions works the same. Every row has its own list of columns. This is the way arrays, two-dimensional arrays are stored in memory, right? Yes, as again, all the elements should be initialized. Let's test it in Eclipse. Just again, we have let's fix a bit. So yeah, as we can see, in the first step, we, as previous, we will declare the variable. We point to it that this is two-dimensional array, and we initialize it. We initialize the first list of the array. In this case, there are four elements there. Then we just initialize every row here. So the first one and the second one, and it's fine. We can even they can have different size. It's fine as well, right? So it's maybe this is the only difference between the tables and arrays, that and two-dimensional arrays, that some of the rows can have less columns than others. So it's pretty fine for arrays, and in this case you can see that we cannot initialize array in opposite way. So if we just if we want to provide the size of the second column of the second dimension, it's not possible since the first dimension is not initialized. I think it's pretty clear. So if you don't have rows, if you don't have a specific number of rows, you cannot declare the columns for them. I think it's pretty clear, so just note it for yourself that it's not possible. Right? Let's continue. Yes, multidimensional arrays can be with irregular size, as I already mentioned. So, for example, we can declare different the number of columns for different rows can be different, right? And yes, regular multi-arrays is just a special. It's just a special case of this case. And yes, regular multi-dimensional arrays can be initialized setting their dimension size on declaration. Yeah, the same. You can initialize the two-dimensional arrays directly. But in this case, you just need to know. You just need to notice that. Every line will have the same number of columns. So in case you want to have something different, you need to use this approach. Around boundaries, as you already know that all array indexes start with 0. In Java, the same as in most programming languages, right? You can use for example, one of the most usual ways of how the arrays are accessed, initialized, is using the cycle for cycle from 0 to the length. Yes, one more thing, to find the length of the array, you can use the method length, right? And using this method, this will return the number of how many dimensions are inside. Not how many dimensions, but how many elements are inside this array. So it's pretty clear. You need to call the method length from the array, and you will have the length of your array. Yes, as I already mentioned, there is an option to resize your array. Well, it's possible. It's possible. You just need to call the same initialization, new type, and number of elements, how much elements you want into your array. So it's possible to change it during the execution of the program. Right? Yes, to copy arrays, you can use method system array copy. Let's show it. Let's show it on. So it's just a bit. So we have the first array. We just initialize it directly with 6 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we have a different array from 10 to 1, and using the command system method array copy, we can just copy the elements from the first array. Then you provide the starting position, right? And the element or the array to which you want to which array you want to copy. And then again the position and the length of the array. So in this case we can just read the documentation here. First source array, then the source position from which to start, then destination object, and destination position with the length of array. I think it's pretty straightforward. Here. Right, okay, let's move on. Oh yeah, in this case, why do we need it? Yeah, of course, that's a pretty clear question. We need it to copy all the elements. Otherwise, it's not possible because okay, it's possible, but otherwise you'll need to create your own loop, then do it manually. Of course, it's much more simple to use the method, and basically this is the approach I recommend, and it's a good practice to use in Java, that in case you have the built-in method or the method which is already created, it's the best practice is to reuse this method as much as you can, right? So you don't need to write your code in case you have you already have the code which does the stuff you want to do. So for this case, it's the same of array copy. You don't need to write your own code. You just use your method and it will work. And yes, let's move on with another class which is pretty important for those who use some mathematics. If you work in, for example, you develop some software, for example, some program for mathematicians, or you just want to use Java as the tool for your mathematical assignments, right? If you have such assignments, you can use Java to achieve your goals. Can do some mathematical calculation or something like that. You can use Java as well. And yes, as we can see, there are all the basic functions used in math. You're welcome to use them. If you need to do some calculation like sale to round your, okay, maybe we can just move on with some commands, maybe just to go through them, so it's easy for you to understand. So we can use system out print and yes, as I already mentioned, you need to import Java lang. Okay, I think okay, yeah, it's fine. Okay, let's just this way. Yeah. So, and yes, this is the case we discussed from the last time, and this is related to static methods. So, why this one does not work? Because this is the method, right? This is the method, and this is the static method, which is located inside this class. So for all the static attributes and static methods from the class, in this particular case, in this class, you can call them just if you want, just by using this class. Okay, so let's call it here, so it's easier for you. So here we have the class. This is the class java.lang.math, and here there are static methods. How the static methods work? Again, we have the class, and you can call them directly from the class. For instance methods and attributes where the static is not used, you need to have the object which is created with the reference to this, for example, for the particular class. So if you have the class A and you have static methods, you can call them just directly from the class. You have, for example, as I said, class A. You just need to type A dot, and then you have all the static methods and attributes already available to use. To use the instance methods and attributes which do not have the keyword static, you need to create the object first. For example, in this case, if I have an attribute which is, and yeah, this is another case. If you have the attribute, let's for example call it, I just call it attribute. Yeah, attribute. In this case, this is instance attribute. As you can see, we do not have the keyword static, what means that it is not possible to use this attribute without the object. As we can see here, we don't have any object created, right? So we just have a static method, so it's like just a place which is executed. We have no objects here. As you can see, there's no object created, and that's why we cannot access this attribute here, right? Because there's no object. There's no object inside. We just have the method, which is like a simple void. So in theory, this void can be located in any different class. It doesn't matter for this attribute at all. It needs object so we can use it. Like in this case, let's create object. So we provide the type, right? In first place, we have the type. Then we have like my object, for example. And here we initialize it as every object. And now we can, here we can access this attribute. So yeah, so let's, for example, assign it to 1. And in this case, it will work. So this is the main difference. For static methods and attributes, we can just use just class with no object. We'll talk about objects and classes a bit later, but it's just for you to hope you can understand it better. So yeah, for static, we don't need objects. For instance, we must have objects to access all these static, non-static attributes and methods. Okay, let's move on with mathematics. So yeah, here, so to use the methods from Java lang math, you can access it this way. Like for example, we have 13.1.4, and what you can see here, just run. You can see it goes up to 14. It's rounded to 14. Same way, if we just have 13.1, it will go to 13. On the opposite way, on the opposite method, that's 4. In this case, it should result in 13. Yeah, right. It goes down. And round is just a simple mathematics. If you have round, so this one will be 13, and 13.5 will be 14. Same. So I think it's pretty clear for SAO 4 and round. Same with, I hope it should be pretty fun for you for ABS. Yeah, for max, you just have max min. You have two values, for example, max 3 and 4. The result should be 4, right? The maximal value. Sorry, let's use console. the maximum value should be 4, right? And if we want to use min, it should be 3, right? And yeah, abs, which is an absolute value. If we have minus 4.3, for example, it should just remove the minus sign and it should be fine. 4.3. Right, then we have some trigonometric functions, sinus, cosinus, tangents, which can be achieved just by with a fraction of sine and cosine. Then arcsine, arccosinus, arctangents, and here just if you want to convert from radians to degrees, you can use this function. And in opposite way, if you want to convert from degrees to radians, you can call the method to radians. Yes, also there are some other methods like square root, power. I hope you know what power is, just 2 in power, for example. 2 in power of 3, there should be 8. Just a simple power. Hope it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, natural logarithm, exponential function, randomize. If you want to just have random number, here you have you have a random value. Here you have from 0 to 1. Right, in case you want to, for example, yeah, as you understand, we have uniform distribution from maybe, not sure if all of you know what is uniform distribution, but it means that you will have the same probability to get the value from any value from in this case from 0 to uniform distribution from 0 to 1. It means that you will have the same probability for every number to be returned from 0 to 1. In this case, for example, if we want to, that's the same, if we want to return the random value from, for example, 0 to 10, in this case it makes sense then that we multiply the random value from 0 to 1, and in this case it will produce us random value from 0 to 10. It's just a scale, just multiplied by scale, and you will receive the random value. And yes, there's a bit, if you have a bit more theory in mathematics, using random or using uniform distribution, you can achieve many other distributions, but we will not talk about mathematics so much now. It's just for your knowledge. If you want to explore, if you want to get some distribution, some different distributions, you can use this random function. I had one practical exercise in my job when we had to randomize the numbers from the list of IDs we had. So in this case, maybe in some cases you'll need mathematics and randomization to reach your goals. There are such cases in programming. And yes, there are two constants, simple pi constant and e exponent, right? It's pretty simple, and yeah, as I already said, all the methods here are static, so you need to access them using the class, right? So all the methods and all these attributes are static, so you can access them directly from the class. You don't need object with a reference to this class. Right. Let's move on with very, from my point of view, some very interesting topic which is string. It's a class Java lang string, because strings are you are used a lot in Java. So I think you already noticed it working during your previous course. So, and yes, strings are pretty useful and a bit tricky, and my point of view, very interesting point in Java. So, as you already know, maybe you know that string is immutable, non-changeable Java built object. What does it mean? Let me show you from the example. So we have, let's declare string. Let's, for example, my string, doesn't really matter. And we have new. Okay, another interesting point about string is, for example, that's the object, right? As I think I already said, that string is not a primitive data type in Java. It's an object. So it's not as simple as integer, short, char, and so on. In this case, for strings, it is built in the way that it's not mutable. So once you declare, here you from memory point of view, you cannot change it. How does it work, and why it can be tricky in some cases? Let's okay. For example, if you want to do concatenation, let's put this one. So in this case, you have the concatenation, and what happens here? It creates absolutely different, from memory point of view, it creates absolutely different variable, so it's not the same. And in which cases that can produce any problem. Let me, for example, let's write my string 2 and type the same value here. So we have two different variables with the same name. And let's check what does Java think if they are equal or not. Print ln, and let's write my string. And as you remember from the previous session and from your previous course, maybe, that two equal signs returns true or false. So let's check in this case if it returns true or false. As we can see, it returns true, that from what means that from Java point of view, these two variables are the same. But where's the tricky point? The tricky point is coming here. Let's just for example, we just remove the G letter, and for example, let's add it again. So in this case, both variables should be from characters point of view should be the same. So it's here interesting here as well. And what does Java think? As you can see, two same strings. I mean the same from user point of view. Both of them are have value interesting. From Java point of view, it's false. And this is a bit tricky, but there's a solution. There's a solution to get rid of this issue. Since I said that, already mentioned that string is an object, we have different methods here. We have different methods. So we can use these methods. We can use these methods, and here you can see there's method equals, right? And here we can compare it with my string too, right? We have my string and we call method equals, which returns true or false. And what we can see here, it shows us true. Why it happens in this way? Because because from the memory point of view, if we do it this way, it means that we initialize the string with the reference with the reference to the memory where it stores the value interesting. And here what we ask to initialize another variable, right, with the reference which points us to interesting, and in memory, so these are pretty like constants from at the moment of initialization, and in this case it provides for both strings same reference. In case we want to mute it, mutate it, it works differently. It changes the memory dynamically, so it produces us different results. I think we can have a small break here, and let's meet in 10 minutes. Right. Okay, I think we can continue. Let's move on with the presentation, right? So yeah, as I already mentioned, it's immutable. It contains characters as a type of char, but yeah, it's not a primitive type, and it's also not array. It's object, right? All the characters are Unicode, and yeah, as we already seen that string has overridden methods. For convenience, yeah, no need to explicit construction, and you can. So it's the same approach of the same way of the assignment is to use like we declare all the we initialize all the objects using new uh, new keyword, or without it, it's also fine for strings. Yeah, there are some examples. We can use the concatenation of strings. In this case, we can, and we can go to next line as well. Right. Let me show you. Can move to the next lines as well using the /n character, right? In this case, let's print s1 and sorry, s1 and s2. Okay, not just that's first we print s1 and then s2. So, yeah, as we can see, this is just a simple line, and here's the multi-line. So we can achieve the multi-line using /n character, two characters, right? Okay, let's move on. And yeah, operator plus in context of strings is used for concatenation. Pretty clear. Also, there are other string operations like concatenation. Also can be used using the method replace. If you want to replace any character, some characters inside the string. Substring, if we want to get any substring from the string to lowercase, to uppercase, trim. We can easily go through all the methods here, right? Example, to concatenate. Let's for example do it this way. Concatenate is 2. Yeah, and it returns us another string, and we can see that two strings are concatenated. So concatenation happens here, and then we have concatenate, replace. So here we show all the characters we want to replace. Let's for example replace this, for example, oh, sorry, we need this we need character and we want to replace, for example, with O in uppercase. In this case, we can see that all the characters are replaced using replace method. Then substring. Substring using here we need to provide the index where to start. For example, that would be the 5th one. So yeah, 1, 4, 5th. And yeah, you can see that it trims everything. It cuts everything what's before U in this case, and it provides us the substring. So then we can translate everything to lowercase. So we don't need to provide anything here. Everything is in lowercase, then in uppercase, the same way, right? Oh, sorry, uppercase. Upper with double P. Sorry. Spelling. Yeah, everything is in uppercase. Trim. And so I'm not sure why trim is used. Oh yeah, okay. As trim is needed if you have. So for example, you have space at the beginning. In this case, it shows the space. But if we call the method trim, it reduces it cuts all the spaces before, and so pretty useful if you want to have some correct output. Then there are some check methods, like for example ends with. So in this case we know that it ends with dot. It should return true. Otherwise, if we have something different, it should have false. Pretty simple. The same with starts with. And I think it's pretty straightforward how it works. Then index of oh yeah, that's the first. That's the index where the specific character is located. Is located for the first time. In this case, we can see that it's true, and again you can see it's 2. And here you can see that it starts with 0, right? Then we have 0, 1, and we can see that in the first place there's h. Yeah, just a note for you. If you use this method, you need to be sure that you start with 0. In this case as well. The same with last index of. I think it's pretty makes sense. Then again equals, as we already used, equals ignore case. I think it also makes sense if we want to ignore the case sensitivity. We can use this and compare 2, for example. It uses lexicographically, but it's not really used, so we'll not check it. And yeah, length, same way. If you want to find the length of the string, you can use the method length. Right, okay, let's move on. Let's move on then. Okay. Yeah, there are also two different classes used for string. String buffer and string builder. So yeah, the difference is that both of them are mutable. I mean, string builder, string buffer is mutable, and again with Unicode characters, you can initialize it using string buffer method, which creates new value with particular size, right? Then you can provide initial string the same way, and it has some methods like appends, insert, reverse, and so on and so on. Pretty straightforward. And another class is string builder. It's quite same, but there are some differences that yeah, string builder is fast but not thread safe, and string buffer is slower but it is thread safe. We will not go deeper with string builder and string buffer, just both of them have both of them are used in the way that, comparing to string, they are mutable. And yes, here you can find some Java code guidelines, for example here. And actually, there are lots of resources in the internet where you can find guidelines for Java codes. So you're welcome to check them. Be sure that your code is readable for other developers, right? That's pretty important. You have the correct version of the code, but we'll check the version control a bit later, right? Just be sure that your code is pretty well done, and actually you know the how the code will be used, and what are the advantages of your code and how other people can use them. So it's very important, since you need to understand that usually when you write the code, you write for not only for to achieve the goal of the code of the program, but also to make it as easy as possible for your colleagues to deal with this code, in case, for example, there's the need for any adjustments of the code. So be sure that your code is well done for it. So I think it's it for the presentation. We'll move with some practical tasks now. And are there any questions regarding this presentation? If not, that we can move on. And we'll move on with first of all, before we do some practical assignments here, I need to be sure that all of you have Git installed and you can use it. I know that those who were working with Martinch, you already have had experience working with Git, and as I know, you used Git Bash, right? Sorry, not Bitbucket for as the place where you stored your repositories, right? So in this course, you're welcome to reuse it. We'll be working with Bitbucket, but we'll actually until we have the sessions where we'll discuss the version control for the code. Before that, we'll use Git only you'll use it only to share your homeworks with me, so I can check and test and be sure that everything is fine. Right, let's start with Git. Just for those of you who don't have it, we can move through all the installation again. Those of you who, for example, those of you who work on Linux, you can use the installation commands. You can find it on the 3.1 topic on all of them. For those of you who use Windows, just search in the internet Git downloads Windows, and here we have installation of Git. I already have, but just to present it correctly, let's install it again. Okay, I think it's I think it should be pretty clear during the installation that you just need to press next, 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 and finish. You will have Git installed after that. You can use it, okay, for example, for our project. So this is the project I'm currently working. So here's the project, and you will have an option for Git GUI and Git Bash. We will not use these commands quite often, just for the beginning. Right. Okay. This is for the first step. Once the Git is installed, I hope that most of you do already have Git. If not, then please install it. So after that, we can register on Bitbucket. You can create your own account on Bitbucket. I already have. You can create your own account here. It's free. And once you created it, I think it should be pretty easy to do it. I think there should not be any complexities here. Once you created your account here, you can create your own. Let's start with Workspace. First, you need to have Workspace. Job lessons live. Let's not keep it private since we'll share it between each others. Right, so now we have the repository. I will not upgrade it now. And yes, we can create a project. Okay, no, we don't need a project. Just first of all, let's create. Oh no, we don't. We need the project. Sorry. Yeah. First of all, yeah, let's create the project. Sample here. Let's not put it as private. Okay. Okay, we don't need this private, so we don't have any confidential info here. So yeah, let's write the description. If you want, you can add avatar. I will not do it. It's okay. I already have. Let's for example use this keyword. Oh no, it's not. Sorry. Yeah, my fault. So this is the unique keyword. Right. Yeah. So now you can create your own repository. Let's do it. Let's do it here. And okay, I think if you want to have, you can add some description. Right, now you have your own description, and now we can use it. Your own repository, sorry, your own repository. Now you can use it. So once the Git is installed, you can connect your project to this repository. So how to do it? Let's start with the user data. Please open the Git Bash. Once Git Bash is open, you'll have this command line, this console, where you can first of all, let's set up the username. Git config. So in my case, it should be global. Sorry, username. user name, and then you can provide your name, surname, for example. So this is the first step. There you set up your username, right? And that's again git config global user email. User email, and here I see there's questions coming. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I will try to be a bit slower. So once you have the repository installed here, you don't need to do it now. You can do it at home. You just need this to. Okay, yeah, you will just need this to for your for your for your home task, so you can just check it at home and register. So what do you need? You just need, first of all, you need to install Git. For those of you who don't have, to install Git, just I can just write Git download. You have the you can go to Git website, and here you can download it for Windows, Mac OS, or Linux. But for Linux, you can just use yeah, for Linux you can just do it by typing this command. So yeah, you don't need to install it now. It's just for homework. Okay, so yeah, once you install the Git, right, you will be able to use it. Before you use it, just go to Bitbucket and create your account. For those who don't have, I will send the link. Okay, you can use, basically, if you want, you can use any different environment for Git. Like I use Bitbucket. You can use any other, like GitHub or Git or any other places where the repositories can be stored. It doesn't matter. In our case, we'll use Git or Bitbucket to access Git. Right. Let's move on. Then you need to go to your project, right, which we are set upping during the last session. In my case, this is this project, which is here. This is what we installed. And this is what I set up for last week, not last week, but on Wednesday. So this is my project, and paste bin. Yes, I think so. Yes, it should be fine. Paste bin should be fine as well. Yes, you can use paste bin. It doesn't really matter which environment we use, just for sharing. So if it works for sharing, it's fine. Yeah, paste bin, it's fine as well, right? And yeah, every Git environment you want. So yeah, once you are in the folder of your project, where your project is located, just go to git bash here, and here you'll have the console. Here you can go through the steps which are mentioned here on the exercise 3.1. So it's basically all the same steps. You can go through them here and complete them. The only difference is that so what doesn't work here is then here BC server is Xed, but we don't have the credentials to to access this server, so we use our own servers, like again Bitbucket or Pastebin or any other servers. So we skip the steps related to BC server, but all other steps should be fine for us. Okay, let's continue. So first of all, we can see here that the username is set up, and then let's set up the email. Don't need to put it in the brackets. So this is the email. Here I set up the email, and let's config the editor. Git config global core editor mousepad. Then set mount as default merchant. Tool command, let's do it. So we can use git config tool mount. The same for div tool. And this is just for the setup for Git. Right, yeah, and now we set up the user data, and yes, as you can see on the exercise 3.1, we can move on. So we've done these steps. We skipped this step since we use different environment. Again, in my case, I use Bitbucket. Then, okay, here we are on the project. We are already in this folder. As I said, we press git bash here, so it means that we already are in this folder. So this step is also not needed for if we work this way. As we can see, we are already in our project directory, right? And what we can do, first of all, let's initialize Git to do it. Joseph, yes, you don't need to set up it. You don't need this setup, but you need to first of all, again, for this step is needed to initialize Git in your project repository, right? You need to initialize Git in every project you are working with. So in this case, we have the project where there is no Git initialized. That's why we need to initialize it there. But if you already used Bitbucket, it will be easier for you to do the setup. You can just do the same setup as you did with your previous projects, right? So as we can see, we've managed to initialize Git. It shows that it is initialized, right? And here next step is to add the remote repository. In our case, it's just the repository we just created. So do it, write this command, git remote. But without this one will be taken from your repository. Git remote at origin. So we show the place from where to take it. Git remote at origin. And here you need to, let's go to the repository we just created, this one. This is the repository, and here just copy the path of the repository. Here is it. Copy, right? Then paste it here, and repository is added. Another point is we need to create Git Ignore File to not push all the changes which are not needed, which we don't want to push into the remote repository. So for this purpose, we need to create Git Ignore file in the project. Let's do it. So just create text file, delete everything from the name of the file, and write Git Ignore. Here it's asking if we want to change the extension. Yes, we want to change the extension. And you can go to editor. You can go to editor and just copy and paste the text here. And okay. And okay, we'll skip this step at the moment. And no, we don't need SSH keys for this purpose. And we will not work with SSH keys here. It is not needed in all cases. Just yeah, in case you want some protection additional, you can use SSH keys. But in our case, we will not use them. In this case, no. In this case, we just use HTTPS. I mean, just the place where the repository is located. Right. So yeah, once the repository is added, we can now we can push the changes there. And another point for those who use Eclipse, what do we need? We'll need, and what we will use? We'll use. Let's go to help. Right, help. We're in Eclipse. Go to help. Install Eclipse Marketplace. Go to Eclipse Marketplace. Help Eclipse Marketplace, and here we have the list of tools and plugins available for Eclipse. And what we will use? We will use Git. Git. Press Git. And here's the plugin. It's already installed for me. For you, you can install it as well. And why do we need it? Because this is the plugin which allows us to work with Git integration in Eclipse easily. And yeah, I already installed it. You can do it as well by just clicking install on the marketplace. Also, what you can check is but if you don't want to use it, it's absolutely fine. If you are pretty comfortable comfortable using the console, it's fine as well. Basically, everything can be achieved from Git Bash. Here, I'm not sure how did you work with Martin, but I think if you already did it, I think you do know how to push the changes to your remote repository. But yeah, for those who want to use Eclipse, please install a Git plugin. You can see it is as an optional task here in 3.1 topic. Just go down to optional task and install a Git plugin. After that, you will be able to use it in Eclipse. So how can we use it? And yeah, as we can see, maybe let's just to be just to make it more clear, maybe let's close Eclipse and open it again. It's just so as you already noticed, we have initialized the Git inside the project, so now we can use it. And yeah, here you have in Eclipse you have such a window for Git repositories. You can open it using Window, Show View. Go to again Window, Show View, Other. Go to Other, and here under the Git section you have Git Repositories. Just double click on it, and you will have this this window here. Right here you can add existing local Git repository, and as we already installed it in our folder, we can add it here. So this is the project, and yes, here we can see that there's already installed Git file, so just add it here. So yeah, again, you need to go to add Git repository, add existing local repository. This is for example this option. This option here, you have the same option when there's nothing. Also here, again, go here, browse to the folder of your project, right? Select the folder here, and here you'll see your Git initialized Git file. Then press OK, and you'll have Git repository here. Right, and how can we use it? And let's show some small example. We don't need this one. We don't need this one. So let's go to for example, let's do some changes here. So here we have our activity packages, and let's do the tasks here. So this is the first one, really simple task. Just need to you can open the HTML files there, and you will see the descriptions of the tasks need to be completed in the exact package. So in this case we are in the second package. Here is the to-do list, and what we can do here is there's a task as I remember from the second topic, and yeah, here's just simple task. You need to create the file hello, right? Let's do it. Press new class. Here you need to create hello. You don't need to create a main void here, as it is not asked. So now we have the class. Here let's just oh no, you actually need to create the void, but which void? Let's check. Need to create the void, but what's the name of the void? I'm so sorry. Yeah, you need to create main void. Sorry, yeah, my fault. You actually need to create the void. Okay, we can create it manually. And here we have an output. As we can see, it asks us to yeah, what's the problem here? The problem here is that we use let's call it non-standard characters. In this case, Latvian characters like A, or any characters with garmzīmes or mixed namezīmes are considered as unusual characters, and in this case we need to use different encoding. So as you can see, by default it uses CP12567, and in our case we just need to use UTF/8. This is pretty usual case for most of files. If you haven't noticed it already, just for future, it's if you want to use Latvian characters, please be sure that you have the correct encoding, and in most cases UTF-8 is fine. It's fine to use to save Latvian characters. So now we have the method created, and what we can do here. First of all, let's push the changes. They should be, yeah. Here you have, yeah. As you can see, here is so-called section Git Stacking, and in this case we can see there are all the changes which are on stage. What does it mean? It means that these changes were not tracked them to be committed. So what we can do here, for example, we can add all the files to so-called stage changes, and we can commit the changes. First commit, sorry, the first commit, for example, set the commit for commit. We can commit and push, or we can just commit first, then push the changes there, then, and yeah, we can use master branch. If you already talked about the branches, it's good. We'll talk about branches later as well, but please use master branch for our goals. And yeah, here we can see we can push the changes, and here it is pushing the changes. Let's wait until it finishes. Yeah, as we can see, it pushed the changes to our repository. Now we can go to our repository, and as we can see, all the files are pushed, and here we have all the files. So should be pretty clear now, and I think it's there's nothing complex here. And yeah, in case you have any specific changes, for example, if you want to change, for example, something here, and yeah, as you can see, once any file inside the project is changed, and it appears under the on stage changes. So we can just do, again, we can do any changes here or somewhere else in the project. Let's close this project, we don't need it anymore. And it appears, all the files changed appear on stage changes. Then you can add selected files to stage changes. So these are the changes which will be committed, right? And here you can just push the second commit. And for example, you can use commit and push on the same time. Push and commit, yeah. Yes, it's pushed, as you can see. Let's go to Bitbucket again. Source, main, Java. Oh, no, second activity, sorry. So this is okay. Sorry, I think it yeah, it hasn't been refreshed. I'm so sorry. No, so you need to refresh your repository. Yeah, you already see that there's second commit message with the second commit. Then you can, yeah, here you can see that. Yeah, don't forget to refresh, and here you can see that we have the file which is changed, and as we can see, nothing else is updated. So we just updated, we just pushed only the file which is changed, and nothing else is pushed. So pretty simple. Maybe not simple for the first time, but I think it should be fine if you just follow all the steps. And yeah, what do you need once you manage to create your own repositories? Once every one of you create this repository, what you need to do, just please share it with me. Just to do it, go to your repository which you create for this, and here you press on share repository, and please add my email. I will send it to you again. I'll send it in chat. So yeah, once you add my, so yeah, please add my email, and yeah, you can leave it just for me to read. I will not change the code, your code. Yeah, so in this case, since I'm an owner, I already can see, can read my code. But for you, please, once you are done with the setup of repository, please share it with me so I can check your homework there. Right? Yeah, I think this is pretty it for Git setup. Maybe that was a bit quick for everyone, but hope it will be clear for you. Okay, let's have again 10 minutes break, and after the break we will start some practical exercises. Okay, let's meet in 10 minutes. Okay, welcome back. Yeah, now today we'll finish with some practical tasks, and yeah, we'll start the activity which which you should finish at home. Well, I think the deadline will be for the first time, since we need to set up everything and set up Git. To do this, I think the deadline will be Wednesday for the homework. But let's talk about it. So yeah, first of all, as we can see, we already created the file, and what we can do, I'm not sure if you have been working with unit tests, but in Java you can do unit tests. In this case, it's just a class which extends unit test class. So here as you can see, we created the file, and here we have the file which is used for unit test. So how to run unit test? You can press on run as, and you can run it as JUnit test. So let's run, and you can see there's an output. And yeah, sometimes it can have incorrect results. And what we can see here, it shows us that it hasn't found hello class. I'm not sure why. Hasn't found. Okay, it should normally find the class. It's a bit strange. Okay, we don't need to have proper configuration here, since we skipped some steps. But for this one, I think it should be fine. Okay, but okay, let's skip this at the moment. Okay, it's a bit strange maybe. Okay, let's check it again. Okay, it still shows that it doesn't see this class. One moment, let me check one thing. Okay, let's skip this at the moment. We'll get back, but yeah, once you're done with the code, you can run unit tests. But okay, let's move on and skip the second one. So yeah, here you have the packages, and in every package you have the classes without the test. Without the tests, you have just, for example, in this case, just simple array class, and here you have already the code, and in the code you can see there are the comments here, and the comments show you what to do. So okay, let's complete the task which is required here. So as we can see, it asks us to use pass parameters for main method to initialize the array. So as we can see in the start method, in main method, there is the array of arguments passed with the type of string, which in theory can be used. So imagine we have we have this parameter field with values. So, and just as for a simple array, we can deal with it. So as we can see, we have the static variable array. We can access it this way as well. So this is the same. If we access it this way or this way, for static variables it's the same. If we are inside the class where this variable is located, and let's use this command. So now we initialize the array, and we need to provide the how many arguments are not arguments, but how many elements are inside this array. So to check it out, we use the method length, right? And now we have initialized the array, and just to fill it, we can use simple for cycle. Then I starts from 0 less than size of the array. And yeah, in this case you can see that we cannot pass the elements directly from the array. For example, if you want to do it this way, it's not possible. It's not possible. Why? Because we have different types. As you can see, it's integer. Array inside the class is declared as integer, as array of integers, but the type of the arguments provided to the main void is declared with the strings, with string type. In this case, we need to convert. To convert it, what we need to do, so simple casting will not work since we're working with string. It should not work. What we can do, we need sorry, not string, but we can try to cast it as integer, but it will not allow us since it's string. It's much more complicated object than integer, so we cannot cast it this way. What we need to do, there is the object, or not object, but the class integer. It's the class in, it's predefined class in Java. We can use it, integer, right? And here's the method. Here's the method we can use, and it's the method parse integer, and it shows us that we can provide argument of string. So let's do it. Now we have parsed the element, and what we need to do here, just print sorted array. Right, to do it we need, first of all, again, we need to call the method system out print ln. Here can access it this way, array, and yeah, for the arrays there's the command use there's the command oh yeah, sorry, I think I missed one thing. Yeah, as it is mentioned here, we need to sort elements. So after we we filled all the elements into the. We can add just to not confuse ourselves. Let's just add this at the beginning, just to not confuse ourselves if we use it here. So it's highly recommended to use the same style of coding everywhere, so to not confuse others. Right, and here we need to sort. How to sort? Of course, you can use, you can create your own not create, but implement algorithms, sorting algorithms, you know. But in Java, there are some predefined methods, and in this case, it's there's the class of called arrays. So not array, but arrays. We are in class array, but this is the predefined class arrays from the utility class. So that's one of the base classes in Java, right? So we have the class arrays, and it has static method sort, right? Sort, and here we can provide our array. Sort, sorry, array, and after that the array should be sorted. And just here we just need to print it out as it is requested. But what's the problem? We'll face the one problem here. Don't worry. Array. And you can see that it does not allow us to do it. Yeah, first of all, because class isn't okay. Yeah, it allows us, but yeah, we need to parse it to strings as it's requested here. Just to use it, let's just use the same comment already provided to us here. And here we just need to return the reference. This of our array, right? And yeah, that's pretty it. We can test it. To do it, we need to go to, since as you can see, we have main method, so we can execute it directly. To do it, we go to run as, run configuration, and here we need to provide the arguments. And can provide the arguments here, like 1, 4, 7, for example, right? And yes, let's run. And not sure why it. Sorry, need to run as, run configuration, and yeah, I'm not sure why. Sure why it wants to run the unit tests, but 1 second, let me check. So now oh yeah, because it's obviously because we didn't call this method to print. So in case, for example, we can call, just if we want to see the output, let's just call this method array, print sorted array, and let's run it. sorry, not this way, sorry, I missed run as, run configuration, and here we can provide the arguments. And again one, let's check what's the issue here. I think it should work this way. Okay, for a moment, let me check it. So we have the array. We initialize it. Yeah, that's fine. It should be this way. Okay, let's just to check if the arguments are provided. So to do it, let's first of all check if the arguments are actually provided. Okay, we have one. There's multiple arguments here, for example. Oh, okay, I think. Okay, at least now we can see that the arguments are. Okay, maybe. A moment. For example, this is the first one. I think. Yeah, we don't need this. Just use. Let's. Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe we should do it this way. Okay, we just use the first one. That's a bit strange, but okay. Okay, we'll check it later. But okay, let's check unit test. Let's check unit test. Here we can see that something is wrong with the program. That's fine. And here we can see it shows that array, for its point of view, it's sorted incorrectly. Okay, let's check it out. So first step is correct. We initialize the array. Then we do the cycle. Yes, it should be fine. Okay, we don't need to print it here. Oh, yeah, we don't need to print it here. Then yeah, we need to sort element. This is what we do, right? Here is the method to print, and here is the method to return the array. I think it must be correct. Okay, that's pretty strange. Okay, I'm not sure if if it makes sense, but let's remove. That's, we don't need this. Let's run with. Okay, but why it doesn't? It should print us the elements at least. Okay, here we can provide the arguments. Okay, yeah. Okay, maybe I have some. Okay, okay, yeah. I think I got the point. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just maybe it's evening and but yeah, I think you got a point, right? That you should you should pass it as the array. You should pass it as the array. Yes. Same. Okay, yeah, that's the same for this one. Free. Oh, no, okay, just yeah, so just one moment. Moment. One moment. Okay, it seems a bit strange, but okay. But yeah, I think the program is correct. We have some problems with running. But yeah, if it works for you, I think something is missed for me. I will. But yeah, the the program is correct. We have just some problems with running. But, okay, let's move. Let's move on. Yeah, I will fix it, and I will tell you tomorrow why there's a problem. Okay, today we have maybe yeah. Let's move on with one more task here about Black Knights. Black Knights. Yeah. So as we can see, here's the task. Here's the annotation that Black Knight is a brave soldier. Yeah, but yeah, okay. I will explain you tomorrow what the problem is. We'll start tomorrow with this issue. Until tomorrow, explain why it's to run. Okay, yeah, okay, thank you for this note. Yeah, okay, let's, okay, I think, just for myself, I think we can print and sorted array. Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's okay. Let me pass the arguments. Oops, one moment. So, okay, I think why it's array 1. Okay, maybe that's the problem. I'm not sure. Okay, I think maybe I know what's the issue. Maybe here, because for me, I think I already just have this application. It does not allow me to go on second one. Maybe let's do it this way. Let's create a new, just for myself, just for testing. Array test 2, right? And just copy the same stuff from here. Just copy the same stuff from here, and let's change test 2. Yeah, and just try to run it from here. Okay, for example, let's everything should work. Run as you'll have Java application. Yeah, it should be empty. Oh, okay, it shows us. Okay, yeah, that's which class is not found. It's a bit strange since it's already imported here. But okay, let's. Okay, yeah, we have rate as 2. And, I'm not sure if we need. To be honest, I don't remember the correct syntax here. I think we can. First of all, let's try it this way. But okay, let's still dot and find the old main class. Array test 2. Java array test 2. Okay, we already have the class. Cannot find what main class. Okay, maybe. Seriously, what's the problem here? Yeah, that's makes me a bit confusing. But from the whole code perspective, I'm pretty sure it's everything correct. We just maybe there are some overriding of the methods here. So maybe not sure why we need to import ourselves, but okay. No, it's don't really need rate us to. Yeah, we are actually here. When we class not found, but here's the class. Okay, but okay, okay, I will explain you tomorrow what's the problem is here. But yeah, the main problem is because there are lots of stuff overridden between these projects, so maybe let's skip it at the moment, and I will get back to you tomorrow with this. It's from the code perspective, it's everything, it's correct. And, okay, let's move on. So this is a bit trickier task. Black Knight, and yeah, here is the story about brave soldier who fights till he's alive. He doesn't bother some of his arms or legs are cut off. You can kill him only when he loses his head. Right? And yeah, that's story. The code in Python. So what do we have here? We already have the number of total nets at the start of the battle. How many of them are alive? How many of them are dead? And yeah, this is the array of all of the soldiers. So we have the name, and as you can see, we have static attributes. Static attributes here, and we have and these are instance variables, right? So as I already explained to you today, we have static which belong to the class itself, and we have the instance which will belong to objects to all these soldiers, right? And every one of them has its own name and number of arms, legs, and there can be one head. And the boolean if which points us if the soldier is alive or not. Right, so we have all the characteristics here. We have all the characteristics which belong to exact soldier, and here we have some overall statistics. So here we have the overall statistics. So how many of them are in total? How many of them are alive or dead? And this is just the static array which stores all of them, all of the objects. Right, let's move with the tasks mentioned here. So as we can see, first of all we need to initialize the array of all of them, and with the past size. So let's do it. Yeah, we need to initialize them. So let's as you can see, this is the static variable. So we access statically. It's new And in this case, oh yeah, sorry, this is not basically what we want to do. And yeah, sorry, just a bit confusing since yeah, it's a bit, so okay, yeah, but okay, let's move on again. Sorry, I'm a bit maybe a bit tired, but let's move on. So yeah, as you can see, we have the void to set the bottom. There is number of soldiers available passed. So as we can see, it's number of dot on it, right? Yeah, and here we provide the initial number of them, right? And as we can see, there's the problem. Why? Because we want to convert integer to short, and as we already discussed it last time, for this purpose we need to cast to short, right? Yeah, we need to cast integer to short. And yeah, oh no, we need to total and the wife to 0. Sorry, yeah, not to initial number but 0. So again, let's initialize again to also to 0. Wife, and yeah, initialize object. Yeah, again, I'll initialize the object. The array of soldiers with as the object, right? And here can do it this way by providing the, again, this is the type. The type is Worknight. This is the class, so this is the reference. This is the type, and this is how many arguments are inside the array. So we have done the initial setup here. Let's move on with the method. So this is yeah, we haven't discussed the constructors of the classes here. We'll discuss them later, but in this case, just need to note that this is the constructor which will be called once the object is created. So in this case, we pass the parameters which of the soldier which will be created with the object. We are missing that. Yes. Yes, maybe as well. Yes, we can. Yeah, I think we can do it as well. Thank you, Ian. Yes, we can do it as well. So yeah, for each soldier we need to set up the parameters for each soldier. Yeah, let's do it as we know that since we are in the constructor so this is the instance method, so we can change all the parameters which belong to the object. And for this purpose, let's use this keyword. And yeah, as we can see, so first let's set up number of arms. he has 2 arms and 2 legs, right? And 1 head. Yeah, then let's set up his status. Alive. I guess he's still alive. No, not still, but at first he's alive. And let's put the reference to the next free cell. So how to do it? Since as we can see we have initialized number of total nits to 0. So at first it should be 0, but once the constructor for an exact soldier is called, we can see that the number of total nits will be updated. So we must know that this variable will be the right one. So as we can see, this is the static. You can see that the array of all the soldiers is static one, so we can access it from the class, right? So this is the array, and here we can provide the number of total, since it will be increasing, and to pass the reference of the exact soldier, we can just use this. It will pass the reference automatically. Right? Then let's increase the number of this one. Sorry. Yeah. No. Total. By 1, and yeah, in the same way. Let's change number of how many total of them. Sorry, just a bit confused. Yeah, this one. Yeah. And again, let's put this name of the class so we can. So it's the same for. So all the code is the same. Right. I think this is pretty. Okay, yeah, we need to provide the name as well. Right? Yes, set the name. Let's access the name and provide it. And yeah, you can see the difference again. We have. That's why I recommend to use this if you want to access the attributes of the class, because you can see we have name, which is the importing parameter of this method, the constructor in this case, and we have the parameter which is the part of the class. So just to point to the right one, we need to use this keyword here for name. Right? Let's move on. Let's cut off his arm as it is requested. If he's dead, so it means that he's not alive. Right? If not alive, then you can in theory. Yeah, I like to use brackets. In theory, if there's one statement you can use, you can do it without the brackets. As you can see, if he's dead, then just copy this text. You can use this way as well. you have one statement, you can escape brackets. So otherwise, if he has some arms, then so since we have two statements, let's cut off his arm, right? And return, as it said, return bugger. Otherwise, as you can see, otherwise return right? Okay. So it's we don't need this return since we have else statement. Yeah, in equivalent way we can just escape else statement because it will go there anyway. So we have if this happens, then it returns this text and goes out of the method. Same way here. That's why we don't need else statement, because it will go here anyway if none of these are met, right? Then let's cut out his leg. It's just the same way as here, I think, right? Just the only thing is that we don't want to cut off his arm, but leg, and not. In the same way, if he's not the one. And then chicken beats that. Then let's cut off his head again, maybe quite the same way. And yeah, again, if he's dead, then return chickens beats that. If he has his head, let's remove his head. Let's cut his head and pass that he's not alive anymore. He's not alive anymore. And let's reduce the number of them who are alive, and let's increase the number of them who are dead. Right, yeah. And what we need to return is, here we need to return nothing, right? It's not asked us to return, but yeah, as it said, if there are other nuts alive, then let's check it first, right? You know, let's write it more directly. If at least one of them is alive, then return. It's written you never win, right? Win plus here. Okay, we need to return all the soldiers which are alive. So how can we do it? Let's create a new method to return all the, as it is asked, we need to return all the nits which are still alive, right? To do it, let's create a method which returns as the string of which shows us all the alive nits, right? Okay. So as you know, we have we need to mutate the string, and for this purpose, let's use string builder this time. So it should be faster from the performance point of view, right? So we have here we used new string builder. Then let's create a delimiter here, so we can just put the right delimiter between the nits and the string. So let's do the cycle from 0 to all the nits alive, right? Block night have nits, and we have this is the number of nits we have, and here just do the plus, and first of all let's check if the current one is alive. So yeah, if this is true, then let's go in, and as we can see here, we can append the delimiter for the first one. For the first one, we will have empty, but for others we will. Okay, let's first of all let's add. Let's add his name. And let's change the delimiter. Let's change the delimiter, and yeah, just return this string, right? Okay, and here we can now we can yeah, for the last one we don't need it. We don't need it for the last one. We don't need it for the last one. So what we can do here, yeah, as you notice that we don't need the comma for the last one. So to escape this, we can do it this way. We can do it this way, and no, it doesn't work. It will not work. It will not work this way. we don't need this comma for the last one. And how we can do it? So if we have all of them, the last one. Okay, we can remove. We can remove the last one as well. Just let's yeah, we can trim it to the size. Oh no, we don't need to trim it. Sorry. Okay, I think yeah, since the time is coming, I think we can finish for today, and we'll continue tomorrow. I think we'll continue tomorrow. Yeah, let's meet at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So let's discuss it tomorrow. Thank you for your attention today, and yeah, tomorrow we'll have a session from 8 to 12 in the morning. Okay. Thank you very much. Let's continue tomorrow.